Dreams by Moseley. For those who, like me, dream to have their own enchanting story. Chapter 5. Alice. I'm wearing some flared jeans and a sage green cardigan. The amulet is around my neck and my hair is up with a claw clip. I only did some light makeup because I didn't plan on going into town today. There's just something that feels nice being out in the countryside. There's something relaxing about it. I walk downstairs as quiet as possible, and Nan is sat at the table with a plate of jam on toast along with a Sudoku puzzle book. The window above the sink is wide open. I can hear the birds singing in the garden and the leaves flowing through the breeze. My mind drifts back to the strange voice I heard this morning. The voice somehow knew my name. It knew who I was, and it wasn't a voice that I'd heard before. It was calm, and I felt like I could trust it. I tried to forget about it and focus on making my breakfast. I decide to make myself a bowl of Cheerios. I sit at the table and start munching away. "Morning, sweetheart. Did you sleep well? I hope you had good dreams," my Nan says without looking up from her Sudoku book. I let out a muffled nodding as my mouth is filled with breakfast, milk dripping out of the corners of my mouth into the bowl. "Any plans today?" she asks, finally looking at me with her comforting smile. I look at her and swallow my food, trying to respond, but I apparently stuffed my mouth with too much food. I start coughing like my life depended on it. Nan rubs my back as I choke on my food. Once I regain some of my composure, I put the spoon down and quickly grab a glass of apple juice to dislodge food still stuck in my mouth. I sit back down with my glass and take a breather. I look at Nan so I can respond to her question. "Not really. Might read a book. I don't know yet." "Well, if you do go out, can you please not be out so late again?" Nan says as she goes back to her Sudoku puzzle book. I simply nod and go back to my cereal, making sure to take smaller bites this time. While I'm just peacefully trying to enjoy my breakfast, the amulet starts glowing again, but this time the glow is dimmer. Luckily, Nan is too distracted to notice the glowing family heirloom wrapped around my neck. I try to hide it by stuffing it under my t-shirt. Thankfully, you can barely see it glowing anymore. I'll just have to go upstairs to look at it properly. Why is it glowing? What does it mean? I finish my breakfast, wash my bowl, and run upstairs as quickly as possible, praying that Nan doesn't see the soft glow under my t-shirt. Once I'm in my room, I sit on my bed and take my necklace off. As soon as it's off, it starts going feral. It starts pulling as if trying to drag me somewhere. Thankfully, it's not that strong, so I'm able to hold it with one hand. Follow it. The voice. It's the voice again. Strangely, I want to listen to it mindlessly. I want to follow my amulet, which must be crazy. What's the harm, though? It's not like I can get lost around here. This place isn't that big. Plus, I have this place memorized. I slip on my Converse high-top shoes and stuff the necklace into my jeans pocket. When I get back downstairs, Nan is washing up her plate from breakfast. I try slipping through the kitchen towards the back door subtly, when, out of nowhere, my Nan starts talking. "Where are you going?" She didn't even turn around. I hate how she's crazy good at that. Was I really loud enough that she could hear me over the running tap? I decided that I should go outside at least once today before spending the rest of the day inside reading, I say, lying through my teeth. She puts the plate on the drying rack and turns around to face me. Her eyebrow was raised, telling me she didn't believe my lie. "Alice, I spent years catching your mum every time she tried sneaking out and lying about it. I know you're lying. Tell me the truth, Missy," she said while crossing her arms. There is no way I'm going to be able to leave without telling her at least a version of the truth that is somewhat believable. Dance around the truth. The voice again. I decide to listen to it again. Fine. I'm going into the woods to explore some more. I found something odd that piqued my interest. I tried ignoring it, but I can't stop thinking about it. Which wasn't a complete lie. My mind did drift back to the woods and the strange tree and the amulet that was pulling me towards the woods. It's just not the complete, honest truth. Fine, but please don't stay out too late. It can be dangerous at night. she said, uncrossing her arms and walking to the table to pick up the Sudoku book and walking up to me to give me a hug. She looks at me like she isn't going to see me again, like she's memorizing my face. Please be safe. I watched her walk into the living room with this gloomy atmosphere disappearing out of my sight. That was weird. I walked to the back door and before opening it, I had this strange feeling to take one last look at the kitchen and the house. After I shut the back door, I walk straight towards the gate and open it. The rust bolt squeaks as it swings open, hitting a flower bed. I take one last look at the entire house and then step into the woods, shutting the gate behind me. Reaching into my pocket, I pull out my amulet and I hook my finger around the leather chain so that I don't lose it. I wait a minute as it just dangles lifelessly. The amulet starts glowing again and then it starts floating in midair, mesmerizing me with how smoothly it floats up. It starts pulling me in a direction again and for some unexplained reason I follow it mindlessly. It's guiding me through the woods, around trees and bushes, over fallen logs and over the stream without having to get in, which is strange because I checked so many times as a kid and a few times since I got here, but I couldn't find a way across. Like before, the trees start getting smaller, like they're getting younger. They start lining up in rows circling the wisteria tree. Is the amulet guiding me to the wisteria tree? I've actually lost it. I knew I would go crazy at some point. I just didn't think it would be now. I thought it would be later rather than sooner. I let the amulet guide me as the wisteria tree comes into view. It's slightly more twisted than last time I saw it, if that's even possible. The branches dangle and it really looks out of place here, like it's something out of a dream. As I reach the center, the amulet drops and stops glowing. I put it back on around my neck. I look around, confused why it brought me all the way out here. I circle and walk closer to the tree for any sign on why I'm here. And oddly enough, the closer I got, the clearer it became that the indents in the bark of the tree were glowing a vibrant purple. The wind started picking up from a slight breeze into a fully strong wind, blowing the leaves towards the tree. The leaves started swirling in a clockwise rotation in the middle of the wisteria tree. A purple, glowing, watery thing started seeping out of the tree, coating the leaves in a swirling clockwise rotation in the tree. The sight was gorgeously mesmerizing. The sun was starting to set and the woods were getting darker. How has a whole day already gone by? It was just breakfast like 30 minutes ago. The wind got even stronger as the tree continued to do whatever it was doing. I was physically unable to step backwards because of the wind. Instead, the wind was pushing me towards the tree. I tried fighting against the wind to no avail. The tree finishes whatever it was doing and it looked like a portal you would see in a movie, but that's insane. Portals don't exist. They're a part of fiction. All of a sudden, it felt like I was being sucked towards the portal. I kept fighting, hoping I had a chance to get out of there. I had no idea what it was doing exactly, but I'm not willing to find out. For all I know, it could kill me. I turn around to walk away with my back facing the tree. My feet scrape against the ground, and I can feel the dirt piling behind my feet. That's when the realization hits me. I'm losing. I'm going to die. I'm going to be killed by a stupid tree. Out of nowhere, my body felt like it was being forcefully pulled backwards, almost like someone grabbed me and is 10 times stronger than me. My feet leave the ground and I go to let out a scream before my back collides with the portal. A cold sensation travels through my body, making me shiver. For a second, I thought it was my soul leaving my body and going towards the afterlife. Maybe it is. Maybe this is it. This is how I'm going to die. Killed by a tree. I have only one regret. I regret not saying goodbye to Nan when I left, when I had the chance. But surprisingly, just as fast as the light had come in, it had left, returning my sight back to normal. Warmth had returned to my body. Relief washed over me, but was soon gone as I was thrown down onto a cobblestone road by the wind. Pain erupts from my back, but I can't waste time. I need to get home. I look at the portal I just came through and it's starting to disappear. I jump to my feet and try and reach the portal so I can get home. I can't get stuck wherever this is. Nan will worry about me. She'll be wondering where I am. Just as my finger is about to touch the portal, it disappears. It's gone. I'm stuck. I drop to my knees in disbelief. I'm sorry, Nan. I tried. I swear I tried. I stare at where the portal once was, hoping with all my heart that it will come back so I can go home. After a good 10 minutes of staring at nothing, the realization hits me hard. I'm not going to get home. A voice cuts through my thoughts. Are you okay? A feminine voice calls out for me. I turn around to see a beautiful girl with hazel eyes and walnut brown hair that matches her dark sand skin. Her outfit reminds me of something that you would see in a fantasy movie. A cream puff sleeve shirt with a forest green laced bodice and long skirt. She had an old black cloak tied in a bow around her neck. She carried a brown leather satchel on her shoulder. Not really. I can't get home and I'm stuck in a place I've never seen before. I look around to see if I can find anything that indicates where I am, but instead I'm left with more questions. I'm in a village that seems to be hidden in a forest. Cottages surround me, but strangely they are integrated with the trees. But oddly enough, that isn't the strangest thing here. The strangest thing here is the fact that it looks like it's midnight. Was I really fighting the winds that long that the sun had set? Although any sanity I had has probably been thrown out the window today. There also seems to be this blue magical hue that fills the air, making this place look magical in a way. There were 8 branching roads that led to who knows where. No way! You can't be. That's just a myth, right? The girl mutters as she looks at me in sheer amazement. Did you come through that tree? Yes? I think this girl is crazy, but then again, it might just be me. Maybe I fell asleep. That must be it. There's no way this is real. Oh my god, a real dreamer. I thought they were just a myth, seeing as no one alive today has seen one, and that has to be a couple of centuries. The girl says, like she's nerding out over this. A dreamer. That means I'm asleep. So all I have to do is wake myself up and I'll be in my bed again. I pinch myself hard, which makes me yelp. Why did you just do that? I was trying to wake myself up, I say as I rub the spot where I'd just pinched myself. Why didn't it work? Was it not enough to wake me? Oh, well, this is very real. You aren't dreaming, she said as she walks up to me. This is real? A portal to wherever this place is. And it looks like it's centuries behind modern technology. What do you mean it's real? I'm actually stuck here? Wherever this is? I say, looking around. It looks like the tree is in the town centre. Yes, but I'm willing to help you out until we can get you home. I have an idea of where to look for an answer. If anywhere has information about getting you home, it's going to be the library at Elementalis College. Fortunately, I'm enrolling this year. You can enroll with me and we can try and get you home, she says as we step away from the wisteria tree. I have to get home, so if I have to enroll in a school to do that, then I will. Where even are we? I ask as we slowly follow one of the branching cobblestone roads. It was the same one she had originally appeared from. Well, currently we're at the crossroads. This is the only place that links all of Vila's kingdoms together. Not many people come here anymore due to the aftermath of the Golden War, she starts explaining. It was a war that happened around 600 years ago that led to the majority of kingdoms isolating themselves. A few kingdoms are allies now, and some prefer to be alone, she explained. Wow. So which kingdom do you live in then? I asked as we keep walking down the road. So far, this road didn't look like it had an end. I tried squinting my eyes to see if there was an end, but no luck. Just more trees, buildings, and roads. I'm from the Nature Kingdom, Xenia. People there are accepting of anyone, even dreamers, but they're the only ones. Others believe that dreamers shouldn't have the chance to wield an element. They think elemental powers should only be used by Valerians. They will try to kill you if they find out you're a dreamer. Even more so in Elementalis. People try to kill other students to reduce the risk of their own death. But I wanted to know about your world. What's it like there? She says, the last bit practically jumping up and down like a kid on Christmas morning. Oh, a lot different from here, I guess. No one there has powers, and we are more technically advanced than you guys, it seems. I reach into my pocket and pull out my phone. This is my phone. It helps me with day-to-day life, basically. I turn it on and the bright light blinds me. The girl leans in, mesmerized by my phone. I look at the signal bars and there are none. No signal. I would say I'm surprised, but I'm not. Signal? What is that? She asks. It basically helps my phone work fully. Without signal, it will take forever to do anything. Not to mention I can't call or text anyone. I look away from my phone and at the girl walking beside me to see her confused. Your world sounds really confusing. Maybe one day you can take me there and show me around. I'm Olivia, by the way. Olivia Wallace, she says, smiling from ear to ear. I'm Alice Hart. I hold my hand out to shake her hand and she shakes it. At least some things aren't different. That will make blending in a whole lot easier. When we reach the end of the road, a stone arch that looks like it's seconds from falling apart is stood. Vines wrap around it, almost encasing the arch. At the top of the center of the arch sat a green crystal that looked gorgeous in the moonlight. As soon as we stepped close, the crystal started glowing, and the same portal from the wisteria tree appeared, but instead of purple, it was a light green. Olivia just walked straight into it without hesitation. I guess it's normal for her. I follow after her as the cold sensation I felt earlier wraps around me. I step out of the portal and warmth envelops me. It feels like I'm getting a big warm hug. The sight I was met with mesmerized me. It's like I stepped into a gigantic forest with trees as thick as a house. On the trees were doors and windows with the curtains pulled over, stopping people from looking in. In between the trees were hobbit huts, but they had hanging signs indicating they were shops. Although the trees were tall, they weren't that tall. About the same height as maybe a 2 or 3 story house. The cobblestone path continues mapping out this place. Little garden beds dot around some normal trees and some with just grass and flowers. The trees create a canopy, only allowing spots of moonlight to shine through. Street lamps lit with candles light the street, giving us light to see where we're walking. Welcome to Xenia. This is my home, she said, looking around proudly. Suddenly, she grabbed my hand and started running through the street, dragging me behind her. We keep running for another 10 minutes, and I really get to see how huge this place really is. We stop outside a house, and the lights are still on. I live here alone. I grew up in an orphanage, so as soon as I was old enough, I got a job that allowed me to buy my own house. Although I do own the house, I will be leaving my job soon so that I can go to Elementalis College, she explains as we walk through the front door. Actually, when we met, I was just finishing work. My last day, in fact. We spend the rest of the night getting to know each other, talking about our worlds and coming up with a plan to get me to blend in and sneak into college. So far, we've come up with me borrowing Olivia's clothing tomorrow and going out to buy me some of my own stuff. As for getting into the college, I think we're just going to be discreet and improvise, hoping that no one notices I'm not from here. Apparently, the entrance exams are held under secrecy, so no one actually knows what happens. There are rumors that mainly follow that it's an extremely dangerous and a guaranteed death sentence. It can't be that bad. Olivia is letting me stay in her spare room for as long as I need. I'm glad she's the one who found me when I fell into this world. She has been nothing but kind to me, and I hope I can make it up to her one of these days. Maybe I can help her around my world when we manage to figure out how to get there. With that final thought, I drift off to sleep, and for the first time in weeks, I didn't have a weird dream.